To the other top story we are following, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang has landed in India a month after his bitter face-off in Ladakh between the troops of both the countries. Minister of State for External Affairs E. Ahmed is receiving Li Keqiang at the airport. We are getting you live visuals of his arrival right now. The meeting between Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and Li is scheduled for 7:30 this evening. Sources say the Prime Minister is expected to do some straight talking on the difficult issues that face the two countries and will raise the border incursion issue as well during the meet. Sources are telling CNN-IBN that the Prime Minister is likely to convey to Li that border incursion has led to a trust deficit and he's likely to ask him to take corrective measures to restore trust. Markets and water issues are also on the agenda of the talks. The Prime Minister will also host a dinner for the Chinese Premier tonight.
Under no circumstances, our territorial integrity should be compromised, and this has to be conveyed in very clear and unequivocal terms. Arunachal is an integral part of India. This must be conveyed in no uncertain terms, and there should not be any compromise on that score.
Our chief diplomatic correspondent Parul is following this story as we speak, and she's on the phone line with us now. Parul, of course, the Ladakh standoff of last month is expected to take the centre stage in the meeting between Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and the Chinese Premier. What are you hearing from your sources?
Shani, we're being told that the Prime Minister has attached a lot of importance to the Keqiang incursion, and we're being led to believe that the Prime Minister will in fact use his first meeting with the visiting Chinese Premier, that is tonight, at a dinner hosted by the Prime Minister for the visitor, to raise this particular issue. We're being told by sources that the Prime Minister is going to impress on the visiting leader that incursion actually created an element of mistrust in this relationship that has impaired the overall relationship. It will be a strong message that will go out from the Prime Minister. It will likely go out tonight. The first meeting between the two Prime Ministers, the Prime Minister expected to tell Premier Li that Keqiang has created a trust deficit, and therefore it is essential for the Chinese side to restore peace and tranquility on the border if they intend to take this relationship forward. We are being led to believe that the Prime Minister does understand that this issue has raised a stink in the country. He's aware of public sentiment and indeed political sensitivities attached to this issue. So he's going to take the first opportunity to talk about the border incursion. We've also been told that the Prime Minister will do some straight talking on another difficult issue, which is market access. India has been particularly looking for access to the Chinese economy for its pharmaceutical sector and the IT sector. The Prime Minister Singh is expected to ask Premier Li to clarify why that market access has not been forthcoming so far. The Prime Minister also expected to raise the issue of Chinese making dams on the river Brahmaputra and India's concerns on the impact of India's share of the waters of the Brahmaputra. So that's an issue the Prime Minister is set to raise as well.